Yeah, do good versus Yoshi. I just don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's experienced enough.
I actually just think Diddy is like a comfort to some ends. But all right, here we go. Game 1, PS2. Color me surprised. I mean, this is pretty much always the game 1. Especially, I feel like every local says that. Everyone just goes to PS2, but just kind of the reality.
Yeah. Here, I am actually going to hand it over to my man Stu here.
Oh, nice.
I am getting really hot in this room.
Yeah, you've been on for a while, too, so I do appreciate you stepping on, man.
All right, let's be fun. See you later, everybody.
Woo. Good spike from Pharaoh.
Yeah, you gotta watch out. Pharaoh is really good at hitting those too. Like he has like the egg confirms into it, and then he'll just kind of catch you. That's like a totally different momentum of a forward there too. Is the Yoshi just sort of head slam? But man, getting hit with it must feel amazing to land. Definitely feels terrible to get hit by.
Yeah, especially when the next stock you still gotta hear more Yoshi noises.
I can confirm that it feels amazing to hit that, but. Yeah, no, this guy who hits them a little bit more consistently than I do. One of the best Yoshis that Tri-State has to offer. However, I mean, one of the best players in general that this humble region of ours. Okay, apparently the banana peel is inedible. Who'd have thought? But, yeah, no, I mean, you're not supposed to eat the rinds, but I've heard of some people doing some pretty nasty stuff.
I was actually very curious going into the set. I was like, is Yoshi one of the only characters that I can actually swallow the banana peel?
Yeah, no, this Yoshi does not have Pika, unfortunately. It's just not gonna work out in that regard. But you know, still you got the egg lay on deck, something that Rivers is going to have to look out for. However, majorly committal, and you're gonna have to keep your distance when you're doing that. Certainly those eggs that you see Yoshi throwing gonna be a big part of that as well. But yeah, the item play. So good from Rivers. I mean, just one of the smarter players, I feel like, really the world of Smash has to offer.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, one of the best players and most experienced players with Banana, period. I mean, he's played Diddy Kong in multiple games. Against a character like Yoshi, I personally would be a little unsure where to put Banana because I feel like Yoshi has like that airborne element to him where you just randomly can float. Is Yoshi he or she? I don't know. They can randomly float over. They're just floating, you know what I'm saying? Yoshi has weird elements to it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. With the egg, you're definitely trying to connect with your opponent. With the banana, it's versatile enough to where you can either throw it to connect and get the slip right on demand, or you're setting it up for later on, letting them slip on it, or really just as a diversionary tool where you're going to command. Like, it is so important to limit Yoshi's options in the air because it can dominate the skies if you let it. So cut off the options, make it fear banana more than you have to respect anything that Yoshi has to offer, whether it be that frame 3 nair or certainly an egg toss. And really that's pretty much 50% of the matchup, and that's something that Rivers has figured out over the past couple years that he's been fighting this character, whether it be by Suarez, Raptor, or any of the other Yoshis that have come through the Garden State.
Yeah.
Case in point.
Yeah, and he's not looking confused by Yoshi at all. I mean, also Pharaoh has been coming here for a while. This is James's home venue pretty much, so.
Yeah. Like, if you're going to come into my house, then I'm sorry. You're gonna need more than one god watching over you, Pharaoh. I'm sorry. That Eye of Osiris ain't nothing compared to the hands of Diddy Kong. Yeah, that's a mythology joke. What's up? Anyway, game number 2. It is a stage counter pick, and we are going to Town and City. I mean, this is a sensible pick in my opinion.
Yep. Yeah, and also I think the platforms give him a little more time to think around James. I feel like the flow of the last game was very in the favor of James. It felt like the last minute or two, I was watching his set.
Yeah, and also just the fact, okay, yeah, you're giving yourself a little bit more time to think, and that's certainly not something that Rivers is beholden to, is the speed of Diddy Kong. But you know, you get a little bit of time to think about what you want to be doing with Banana, what you want to be doing when you're in Omega form, such as now. You're not hurting if you're Rivers, but it certainly does benefit Pharaoh as well. Given, I mean, if all it takes is one misplaced jump for Rivers to get caught in a string of up airs, or certainly getting carried over the ledge and put into disadvantage such as that. Rivers not wanting to be there, going to the ledge as quickly as possible, and I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed Pharaoh does a lot too, as far as Yoshi gameplay goes, is he kills people off the top with egg, like kind of regularly. It looks really weird, but you think about Town and City, kind of lower ceilings. It's a pretty viable way to try and catch Rivers, even just monkey flipping high. But
Yeah.
with that in mind, there we go. First stock, first blood of this game going to Rivers.
It's weird. I'm trying to think of what Pharaoh needs to adjust his game plan for the last time. I'm not really sure what it is. I think James is intercepting him in the air a lot at the beginning of this game, kind of anticipating any of those floaty movements Pharaoh might be making. So maybe it's better for Pharaoh to stay grounded and be a little more place his moves a little more carefully.
Rivers, I mean, for someone, I have to say, for somebody who hasn't played a tournament, at least on record, since Warped, the monthly event that happened up in Rahway, New Jersey at the beginning of the month, I gotta say the guy is about as on form as you could have expected coming off a relatively prolonged break, taking one of the better Yoshis in all of Tri-State down to their Winterside stock.
Yeah, he's looking extremely dominant this set, and he's looking extremely clean. There's not a single moment where I felt like he was looking like he's not mentally there or anything like that.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. He doesn't really enter a whole lot these days, but when he comes, he does show up. You'll see sometimes some of the moments of just I don't play this as much anymore, so maybe I drop this. But for the most part, I mean, you're totally right. He's as sharp as ever. He just sees the game a little different. He's very smart in terms of just how he approaches certain things.
And I mean, all the credit in the world to Pharaoh for the run of form that he's been on recently. Wins over people like Stefan, Malarson, WebJP, Hayes, and Hydra. Recently signed Hydra, by the way. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, shouts to Hydra.
Yeah, this is an in-form Yoshi, and Rivers is absolutely
he's best of
handling
5.
him. And best of 5 territory, so he's going to be okay. But he needs to make these adaptations, and it feels like you're just getting all your options taken away. When you're Yoshi, you live and die by your effectiveness in the air. Rivers is not giving it to him.
Yeah, and he hasn't fallen for any of his mix-ups. I mean, he's just been getting...
This is one smart chimp. This is...
Yeah, you don't always expect this level of intellect coming out of...
Rivers, yeah.
Exactly.
So we're coming. Oh man, this is. I mean, this is big. This is big game Jame. We're talking about.
Big game Jame, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I see him moving when he's mashing monkey flip, doing the misdirections. He's feeling pretty confident. I'm just wondering how Pharaoh can shut that up air should not have hit.
No,
I'm just wondering how Pharaoh can shut it down.
You don't need to be giving stuff for free. The tri-state area, yes. I'm just that formal. What can I say? But yeah, Nair, fast fall Nair, and yeah, and now you're seeing Rivers with the opportunities to establish his aerials, and yeah, this is the last thing that you want to be seeding if you're the Yoshi. Have not been gotten nearly as much effectiveness out of those egg tosses. You're losing the battle in the negative space, and I mean it's a brutal state of affairs. If you're Pharaoh, it's just, what can you do? You have to keep going in. You have to keep pressing buttons, I feel like, right?
Maybe. I mean, I don't really see him. Some moves I feel like he should be using Nair. He's got to be sticking that somewhere. He's getting monkey flipped all over him,
Like pressure, oppression, anything that you can possibly do to get this monkey off kilter. Wall flip and the recovery from the depths, going where eagles dare and getting the bear to follow. Rivers at 102%, taking that first stock, and it was always going to be a test for Pharaoh.
Yeah,
but my oh my.
That's a tilter. That's a tilter for Pharaoh because that looked like a guaranteed stock, and Rivers is literally clinging to the PS2 wall at the very bitty bottom part of the blast zone, just making it back.
Did he get the blast zone?
Yeah,
damage?
that's why he was. Yeah, he was clinging to the wall.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I imagined that. I was like, he's taking damage right now.
I wasn't looking at Pharaoh's cam, but man, if I were him, I'd probably be. Yeah, that's frustrating. That's tough. But in any case, it does look like Rivers is trying to end this as soon as he can, because honestly, and Rivers knows this, you don't really want to let Pharaoh like figure it out, because Pharaoh's a really smart player too and very capable. So it's like you do give him a little bit of time in, and you might get surprised. And I think Rivers knows that too. So really just trying to finish this off in 3 games is going to be ideal just to avoid that.
As dedicated a Yoshi player as you will find. He is so proficient, so efficient with these characters. I mean, pardon the inadvertent poetry there, but it really does. That is kind of what you're looking for, is just simple, effective buttons in the air, and it's supplemented by those tilts and those combo starters on the ground, and smartness with the egg lay and whatever item play that you're able to get from your opponent. You got to know how to utilize that. He has not been able to figure out banana, and that has been the great equalizer for Rivers.
We did have a little moment there where it seemed like Pharaoh was getting some momentum, and I think I saw it in his patience. He was shielding a lot, just trying to think his way in, rather than trying to disrupt James's mental, like his flow,
Yeah, kind of instead of meeting him with like all the buttons and movements he's making, really just kind of letting it happen. I agree with that, because I have noticed that like this was looking like a very even game before that stock. But it does look like Pharaoh has made some adjustments at the very least, which is
nice.
Yeah, I mean that's a victory in itself, because this was looking pretty rough for Pharaoh, and now it looks like he's kind of slowed the tempo down and sort of got himself a lot more in it than he's been.
There we go. 33, 41%. Rivers wisely directionally air dodging away. But yeah, that's the sort of thing. This guy can go downhill so quickly. It just piles on, and it's like the snowball that just kind of picks up. It becomes an absolute boulder at the end of the hill, and it might well crush Rivers underfoot if he's given the opportunity. Pharaoh holding center stage. Rivers trying to get off of the platform. I mean, you should be able to do so, but Pharaoh is under him, sharking, and this is where he's so dangerous. But he brings it back.
Yeah.
Brilliantly done. And yeah, that is going to be Rivers. What an effort by Pharaoh in that Game 3. And I know this might sound condescending given what we just saw, but that really took a lot just to give it back. We saw Pharaoh pulling off some stuff that you just do not see. Like a lot of players really being able to do unless you put in the man hours to be able to do it. I mean, the Z drop into what was going to presumably be some, I would assume, a scooped up smash, but the parry and then dismantling the item, and then the willingness to go in and get stage advantage right after that with the Nair.